there are two ways to approach politics. You can change the weather or you can be the weatherman. What do I mean by that? Sometimes you will have colleagues of yours on both sides of the aisle that will do this. Where is public sentiment? And they'll follow that. Then there are people that actually change the weather. One of your colleagues, Bernie Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
Bernie has been talking about economic inequality, healthcare is a human right. He has been beating this drum since the 1970s. Which do you think is the best approach to politics? Being the weatherman or changing the weather?
I think changing the weather. The way I learned getting into electoral politics, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
people have asked me, were you always interested in politics? Like growing up, where I grew up, how I grew up, we were raised with community involvement, even community activism. But it wasn't until I was out of college that I realized the value of electoral politics more specifically. And so your reason to get involved, your reason to even run for office, there's got to be a why, right? There's got to be a purpose. There's got to be a mission. You think the world or the country or just your community can be better, and you want to move it in that direction, right? That's the weather change you're trying to create. Yes. Sometimes it's easy. Most of the time, it's not easy. Sometimes it can take
a lot of times you'll lose.
Sometimes it takes decades.
Yeah, you may lose, and people may look to you and go, "Why would you do that?"
But if that's your why, that's what you're committed to.
Yeah.
That's why even to this day, as tough as it is right now, as hard as it is right now, that's why I still get up every morning and go to work because of that challenge in front of me on a number of issues. But you want to talk about weather versus weatherman. Let's talk about immigration.
I mean, you have been a person who has fought to change the weather on that issue.
A lot of times in my conversations with colleagues on both sides of the aisle, I mean, Republicans on immigration right now are where they are, but even on the Democratic side, too many of my colleagues get too uncomfortable too quickly when it comes to the immigration conversation and what it means as an issue. And it's not until ICE and CBP and the National Guard shows up in other cities and other states that people start coming around like, oh, now I know what you were trying to say.